Is God inside the temple, mosque, church, or Gumba? Rabindranath Tagore dares to say no through this poem. Leave this chanting and singing. Let's find out where God can really be found as per Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore was born in 1861 and passed away in 1941 at the age of 80. He is the first non-European to receive the prestigious Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913 for his poetry collection Gitanjali. He is widely known for his composition of national anthems for both India and Bangladesh. His poetry is very famous for love, nature, freedom, and very rich in imagery. Before we dive into the summary, analysis, and some exercise from the poem, let's learn about some difficult words and their meanings. Here, the first word is chant, which means to repeat some religious verse. And then here is the beads. It means a small round object with the hole to be threaded and wired. The picture is right here. Next one is tilling. It means plowing or cultivating the ground for agriculture. And next one is garment, which means an item of clothing. Some more difficult words. Here mantle means a loose sleeveless clothing worn by bishops. The picture is right here. Deliverance means redemption, liberation, release, setting something free. And next one is incense, which means biotic materials that release perfumed smoke when burnt. And next word is tattered. It means torn, ragged clothing. Stained, which means a discolored area caused by oil or food. And the final word for today is toil, which means hard work and struggle. Let's learn about some archaic words. Archaic word here means old-fashioned words which are no longer in use these days. Here, dust. It means second person singular of do. Thou here means second person singular you. Thine, yours. Thee, you. Thy, your. Let's recite the poem first and then we'll go to summary and analysis. First stanza. Leave this chanting and singing and telling of beads. Whom dost thou worship in this lonely dark corner of a temple with doors all shut? Open thine eyes and see thy God is not before thee. Here, in this first stanza, a devotee who is busy in chanting, singing, and worshipping God inside the temple is requested to stop doing such unproductive things. The speaker reminds him to open their eyes and consciousness to see God is not found within the temples, nor is God reached through rituals. In the initial verse, Rabindranath Tagore defies meaningless rituals and worship. He raises questions upon the purpose of isolated devotion of chanting and praying by the priest and the devotees. The tone is straightforward and reformatory, urging people to move beyond ritualistic practices confined within the dark and closed temples. Tagore put emphasis on that God does not reside among the priests and devotees inside the four walls of a dark room. He calls for the action to come into the consciousness and see that God, whom they are seeking, is not in front of them. God cannot be restricted inside the temples or any other dark rooms with all the doors shut. Hence, in this stanza, Tagore conveys a very deep message, and the message is meaningless and empty rituals like singing hymns and chanting inside the closed dark temples are not the true way to find the God. Second stanza. He is there where the tiller is tilling the hard ground and where the pathmaker is breaking stones. He is with them in sun and in shower, and his garment is covered with dust. Put off thy holy mantle, and even like him come down on the dusty soil. In this second stanza, the speaker answers the curiosity. If God is not inside the temple, then where can he be found? The poet says that God is always with the one who worship the work and are hard workers. The devotee seeks God in dark corners of temple. However, God loves to be among the workers and the toilers who are engaged in hard labor, wearing dusty clothes and sweating under the sun. Tagore emphasizes that if one wants to find God, they should serve these people and share in their struggle. God is not pleased by empty prayers but by sincere work and compassion. Tagore continues his critique of hollow religious practices and emphasizes that God is present in both sun and sour, meaning in all conditions of life, in happiness and in suffering, in ease and in hardship. Unlike the priests and devotees who remain detached from the struggle of daily life, God Himself is engaged in the world, shedding the dust and sweat of those who labor. A powerful contrast has been made here between the two images. One is his garment is covered with dust, and another is holy mantles. The priests and devotees in holy mantles keep on worshipping the God in detachment with false purity, whereas the God whom they are worshipping is in dusty garment, working with the toilers in their hardships. This clearly shows that God is touched by the realities of life, not by the superficial show of holiness. The poet calls for the action and requests people to put off their holy mantles and join God in dusty soil. The second stanza reinforces the poem's central theme. True spirituality lies in active participation in the lives of others, especially the poor and the laborers, and not in empty rituals or isolation. It is a call for humanitarian action and practical spirituality. Third stanza, deliverance. Where is this deliverance to be found? Our Master Himself has joyfully taken upon Him the bonds of creation. He is bound with us all forever. In this stanza, Tagore raises a question upon the idea of deliverance, which is also called moksha or salvation, that many spiritual people quest for through rituals and prayers. He challenges this traditional concept of liberation from worldly life, suggesting that true liberation is not found in escaping the world, but in embracing life and its duties with love and dedication. Tagore argues that even God, the creator of the world, has happily bound himself to his creation instead of remaining isolated. God joyfully participates in the life of the world. The phrase joyfully has taken upon him the bonds of creation shows that God is not seeking freedom from the world but is lovingly engaged with it. When God Himself is bound with us all forever, how can humans seek to escape from worldly obligations and duties just in the name of deliverance? Come out of thy meditations and leave aside thy flowers and incense. What harm is there if thy clothes become tattered and stained? Meet him and stand by him in toil and in sweat. In this concluding stanza, Tagore gives a deep and direct message to those who are lost in futile practices and meditations, thinking they will find God through such actions. He urges them to come out of their dark ritualistic spaces, leaving offerings like flowers and incense, which he sees as symbols of empty worship. The lines, what harm is there if thy clothes become tattered and stained? So Tagore's call to reject false notions of purity and embrace the dirt and sweat of real life. He believes that Serving humanity is the true way to connect with God. And if that makes a person physically dirty and tired, it is not only acceptable but highly honorable. The phrase, meet him and stand by him in toil and sweat of thy brow, reflects Tagore's vision of practical philanthropical spirituality, where he strongly believes in hard work and sincere work. To conclude the speaker's perspective here, work is worship. Now, this is the activity time based on the poem. Here are some synonymous words. Synonym here means similar meaning words. In the dark box, there are some words and their synonymous words are right below here, and you need to think what words should be under each right column. Think for a while. Here is the right answers, everyone. Reciting, chanting, shrine, temple, gloom, dark, forlorn, lonely, cultivation, tilling, clothing, garment, sacred, holy, take off, put off, redemption, deliverance, agreement, bones, torn, tatter, discolor, stained. Did you group the words correctly? Antonym time. Antonym here means opposite meaning words. Again, some words are here in the dark red box and their antonymous words are right here below. You need to think again which words should be under each right column. Answer time. Open, shut, put off, put on, impious, holy, reluctantly, joyfully, freedom, bones, destruction, creation, momentarily, forever, goodness, harm, new, tatter, unsoiled, stain, comfort, toil, commence, leave. Now, this is the MCQ time. Here is the questions and the 4 options are below here. You need to guess what's the correct answer. What does the poet urge the worshippers to live? Is it their homes, their prayers and rituals, their work, or their families? The poet urges the worshippers to live their prayers and rituals. According to Tagore, where can God be found? In the temples, in forest, among the poor, or in the sky and heavens? Yes, God can be found among the poor and the toiling mass. What does the poet criticize in the poem? Is it the hard work and labor, the excessive focus on religious rituals, the lack of education, or the power of nature? The excessive focus on religious rituals. What imagery does Tagore use to describe the presence of God? God is in the sky above, God is in the temple alone, God is with the tiller in the field, or God is in the Holy Scriptures. The God is with the tiller in the field. What does the poet suggest as a better way to worship God? By chanting hymns, by seeking knowledge, by working hard and serving humanity, or by meditating in solitude? Correct answer is by working hard and serving humanity. What is the tone of the poem? Is it satirical and mocking, angry or resentful, inspirational and reformative, or pessimistic and hopeless? It is obviously inspirational and reformative. What is the central message of the poem? Worship should be performed in isolation, or rituals are the best way to connect with God, or is it the true devotion lies in serving others, or spirituality is meaningless? The correct option is true devotion lies in serving others. Who does the poet refer to when he says our master? Does it mean the landlord, the school teacher, God, or the priest? The answer is God. What is the poet's view on traditional religious practices? They are the only way to reach God. They are important but should be balanced with work. They are unnecessary and misleading, or they should be practiced strictly. Answer is they are important but should be balanced with work. What does the poet compare the worshippers to? Scholars lost in books, priests chanting prayers, or children playing in the street, or people lost in illusions? It is the people lost in illusion. Tagore reminds us that true devotion lies in action, not in prayer. Do you think that you should involve in humanitarian works or focus on productive work? What's your say? Write in the comment section below. Thank you.